Welcome to this short tutorial on how to find Australian research using Informit databases. Informit databases are an important source because a lot of Australian research, even excellent Australian research, is not represented in the big international databases like ERIC. To begin, visit the library's homepage and scroll down to Databases and Specialised Search Tools. Click on Education and you'll find A+ Education at the top via Informit. Click. When we get to Informit, it's important to remember that Informit is actually a group of databases, almost 100, and they cover every possible discipline for Australian research. So what we'll do first is search broadly, and we're going to begin with the advanced search. Let us suppose that I am interested in literacy in early years. So I am going to type each of these concepts into a box and then press enter for the search. You can see that I've got over 1,000 results. They look all right. What would happen is that as you scroll down through these results, after a while, you'll realise that it's probably better to use the more accepted term, which is early childhood. So let's try that. So I'm going to edit the search and I'm going to put early childhood in quotation marks. What that does is it keeps our words together as a phrase. So early childhood, those two words in that order. So now that I've done that, I've got slightly more results and they actually do look a bit more relevant. So that's very good. At this stage, it's worthwhile just to have a quick look at the filters on the left-hand side of the page, just so you know what limiters are available to you. So you can see a date range, the journals that they come from, the source, the types of resources, the ways that you can limit, the databases that you can use, genre, publisher, language, subject, geographic location, a whole lot of different ways to limit. And that's certainly very tempting, but it's actually much better to get a really good search going that gives you the maximum number of references. So let's see if we can do that first. So I'm going to edit the search and I'm going to add some alternatives for my word literacy. You will notice that I have typed the word phonic with a star on the end. And what that means is it'll go and get all the possible endings of the word, both singular and plural. And now I've got several hundred more results. So that's good. Let's see what else we can do. If I go back and I say I am just as interested in primary as I am in early childhood, suddenly I've got a great many more results. So there must be a way to make those results more relevant. And I can do that by editing the search, but this time, instead of asking for these words wherever they may appear, anywhere, title, abstract, I'm going to ask for them when they are subject headings. So what that's done, it's cut my number of results by pretty well 50%. And what we hope is that these are more relevant. And that's because if someone is applying a subject heading to a reference, it must be substantially about that particular topic. So now we've got quite a good search going. Now is a good time to look at these limits or these filters on the left-hand side of the page. Let's have a look at the resource types first, just to see what we've got. So we can see that we've got a great many journal articles, then quite a number of book reviews, we've got videos, we've got TV segments, and there's more. Well, we're not going to be interested in most of those except for academic journal articles. So if you scroll down just a little bit more, you'll find a way that you can limit to only peer-reviewed references. And you can see that's cut it down a great deal, quite a lot. When something is peer-reviewed, it's a guarantee for you of some kind that it's academically rigorous. And that's because 2 other expert researchers will have reviewed that article and given responses to it. So that's good. All right. The other thing that we can do over here is we can limit by the date of publication. I'm going to ask for material written since 2016, and that's cut my results down a great deal. This bar is like a heat bar, and it shows you where the interest has been. So you can see that interest in this topic is more recent. So now I've only got 200 or so. Other ways that I could limit are by looking through and checking which databases my results come from. So a lot of them come from A+ Education, but there are quite a few from other databases. You could choose whichever one you like. I'm going to choose A+ Education. Now I've only got 173. And if I wanted to, I could go right down to the bottom here, and I could choose a geographic location. So if I was only interested in what was going on in Queensland, I could ask for Queensland and I'll get 5. As you look through them, when you find something useful, you can preview the abstract just to have a quick look, see if you really do think it's worthwhile. If you do, you can either go straight to the PDF or the EPUB and download it, or you can click for a longer version of the abstract and read that. Once you've found an article that is good, you can go to Export Citations. Make sure that you choose APA up there. If you copy it, then you can copy it perhaps to an open email that you've got, and you can email it to yourself, or to an open Word document that you can save in your research folder. You can add to favourites, but in order to do that, you'll have to make an individual account with Informit. The last thing to tell you about is the search history, which is up here at the top. This is useful in a limited kind of way. If you print this and put it in your research folder, you will have a record of what terms you searched and when you searched for them, so that next time you've come to Informit and you're searching, you can remember and not drive yourself crazy. So that's Informit. All the very best with your research. Enjoy.